Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Kristen May, and this is May Love Light. And I am hopeful that you can hear me all right. Yeah, please give grace as I try out different setups with my live, just to make sure you all can hear me well. And yeah, so welcome once again. My name is Kristen May. This is May Love Light. And I wanted to talk about the body. That's what we're going to do today. So I'll provide some introduction, talk a bit about my experience, and I'll lead us through like a 10, 15-ish minute practice, and then close with some reflections. And so, um, yeah, just to like remind and reacclimate ourselves to what it is that I do. I'm a mindfulness facilitator, mindfulness mentor, and I attended my first like silent meditation retreat in 2013. It was a SN Goenka retreat. I did that for 5 years, which I feel like really gave me a solid foundation of practice. And along the way, I also became a certified yoga teacher, and I began practicing in the insight meditation tradition. And yeah, insight provided me a bit more flexibility of my practice. And I kind of continued on with my own experience of really channeling and working with trauma informed mindfulness. And so that's a bit more of my lens, especially being in a Black body that also influenced my perspective and how I practice and how I facilitate. And definitely want to acknowledge the lineage of this practice. And this practice came, well, insight mindfulness or insight meditation came a lot from um, back in like the 70s. And so, but before that, like like the Buddhism and these teachings came many, many years before through the immigrants that came from South Asia, Southeast Asia, and East Asia. And so there's a very rich history here in the West that sometimes get overlooked. Many times, I believe, get overlooked. And so yeah, there is a lot of history in that space, and I can speak from my own experience of my practice and my embodiment of how I move through the world, and that is what I offer, my own lens. So with that, um, we're going to talk about working with the body, and sometimes that can be really difficult for people. I spent a lot of my like I've experienced a lot of detachment emotionally, and one of the things that would happen is when I would have um, very strong emotions, I would detach from my body and not really feel kind of like what is going on in my environment. And it wasn't just like um, difficult emotions. Like it wasn't like just like sadness or anger. It was even when I experienced like joy, I would find myself detaching, like this is too much. And then I'm like off in another place. And so I feel like many of us have experienced um, or can relate to having that moment or noticing when we're not really feeling the body. And so sometimes it can be difficult to practice meditation. Like working with the breath can be difficult because the breath itself is a phenomenon that you need to feel through the body. You can feel how the air is moving through the body, so it brings you to that. And sometimes it can be very difficult. And I just want to normalize that that is okay. And so what I'll be guiding us through is more like a body scan practice, and we'll actually be using touch to allow ourselves to anchor into the experience because there's sometimes we're not able to feel the subtleties in the body. Like I can feel my fingertips right now. They're a little cool, and I can feel my palms are more warm than my fingertips, and I can feel like the touch of cool air kind of touching my hands in this moment. That's very subtle, and maybe that's not accessible for you, and that's okay. But if you take your hands and you rub them together, like, you can feel that touch. And so just allowing ourselves to anchor in the sensation of touching, throughout this practice is what I'll be offering today. And so there's, I know when sometimes when we think about meditation, we think about, like, the stillness, the statue, just, like, not moving, unbothered, and that's not everyone's story, and I just wanna bring that, like, normality, like, this it is okay, that is not your story, and that's that is fine. The only thing is, there is a difference of being reactive to movement and then the difference of actually noticing, like, I have a desire that's arising of or maybe I have discomfort that's arising and I need to adjust my posture in some way, and then, like, making that choice to move rather than, like, it being a reactive thing. So, that's another, like, subtlety in the practice. So what we're doing is we're training ourselves to be less reactive and more having choice in how we're responding to things. And so, like, this is just a very small way that we can train ourselves to get a little bit more into having choice in how we respond. All right. So I feel that is good for now. And if you have any questions, you can email me at maylovelight, the number 8 at gmail.com, and then I can answer well, not really answer, I'll provide a response. I'll provide a response. Another thing I wanted to say is that I have, some references of books and different things that inspire me and continue to inspire me. So if you go to the description, you can see a link to a listing of those references. You can also find that in my link tree. If you scroll down to the bottom of it, it's there too. I felt called to share that, and I tried to provide links to the resources as well. All right. So with that said, shall we practice together? I'm gonna take a sip. If this is your first time with me, I have some respiratory challenges, and it manifests through a lot of coughing. And this weekend was really difficult for me. It was challenging, but I made it through. Yeah, I'm still figuring out what it is. A lot of layers of different things that are impacting my breathing. And so I say that to say if I start to cough, know that I'm okay. I have some tea here and I have some water that I'll uh, sip on. All right, just making sure you have what you need for this time. If you wish to sit, I'm sitting in a chair. If you wish to lie down, the way that I'll be guiding this practice, it will be best to be seated in some way um, because we'll be using touch to allow ourselves to anchor into the body. And so it will, yeah, it'll be more accessible for you if you're seated during this. All right. So first up, I just want you to take in your space, looking around, and this is orienting. And what this does is just allow us to settle into the body a little bit more, just even looking behind you and down and above you. And this is just allowing ourselves to know that we're safe enough in our space during this time, just a way to settle the body a little bit more. And if there's ever a time you feel overwhelmed with this practice, you can always open your eyes and orient yourself and kind of help yourself to reset and then start again. Okay. Mm. If you wish to have your eyes open during this practice, you can. The first thing we'll do is we're going to allow ourselves to anchor with our hands, just allowing yourself, just moving the hands and really feeling them, feeling the fingers rubbing against each other. I can feel my fingertips are still quite cold. And rubbing the hands together, and then bring one leg up and cross cross the ankle over the knee, and so you can touch your feet. And then just allowing yourself to have a firm touch of the feet, and really feel into the sensation of touch, the pressure that's happening, noticing I actually have some shoes on, so, like, I can feel the touch of my hands through the shoe, and so we're allowing ourselves to be in this moment and just really anchoring into the touch of the feet. And then work your way up the leg, the calf and the shin, just touching, pr bring in some pressure. And it doesn't have to be a massage. We're just acknowledging, like, I am like, this is what it feels like. I am touching my leg, feeling the sensation of the pressure on the leg. Maybe you can feel I can feel like my thumb provides more pressure than my pinky, like, I can feel the difference. And this is just allowing ourselves an invitation of coming into the body just a little bit more and working our way to the knee. You can release the leg and bring the foot to the ground and switch to the other leg, crossing that ankle over the knee, bent knee, there, and bringing the pressure to the other foot there. I got some snap, crackle, pops happening in my hips, and I'm just noticing. I could find myself like, I wanna judge it. That's okay. Yeah, and just bringing that touch to the leg, calf, the shin, just allowing yourself. I can feel the temperature of my body overall is increasing. I'm just noticing, and just you can release that leg, bring the foot to the ground, and bring your hands to your knees and just applying light pressure around the knee. I know our knees can carry so much weight. So if you have a lot of discomfort in the knee, just be very gentle. You can just lightly rub the knee and the thigh, the top of the thighs. Just feeling the hands, bringing that pressure, noticing. Okay, I'm going to readjust myself. Okay, now we'll bring our hand to one hand and just touching the hand. We're going to move up the arm. And what we're doing is bringing our attention to this experience, just feeling the touch. and moving up the arm, the forearm. It's like, okay, I can feel this touching of my forearm, the pressure moving up to the upper arm, biceps, triceps, feeling that. You can switch to the other hand. For this practice, as our mind wanders off into like maybe what you need to do today, just bringing yourself back to this experience, touching the arm, moving up the forearm, going to the upper arm, bicep, tricep area. Okay. And then bringing both hands at the shoulders can be like a little hug. And then let's just pause a moment, bringing our hands, just resting them maybe on your thighs, and just noticing how the body feels in this moment. Is there any like residual sensations from the touch that is arising? Notice, let's bring our attention to the seat and the pressure, the weight of the body on the seat. You can lean to one side and like notice the shifting of the weight in the seat, and then lean to the other side and feel that, the difference, and then bring it back to the center. And if your back is resting against the chair, you can notice the lower back, the middle, and the upper back. I notice some tightness in my lower back, a little bit in my middle, then as I move up, the tightness is less in the back. I do notice tightness in my shoulder, more on the left than the right. Just taking in the inquiry of what you're noticing. And if you don't notice any details, that's okay. Just being with the back, the experience of so much that our back does. We're going to bring back the touch for if it if this is something that's supportive for you. We're going to be touching our face, and if you do not feel comfortable doing that, that is okay. You can just rest in the previous posture, just noticing the seat, and take our hands and just place it on our cheeks, noticing how that feels. I can feel the coolness of my fingertips against my cheeks. Moving the fingertips to the forehead, just feeling that. You can take one hand to the back of the head, and just feeling that. and allowing yourself to do a little mini like face massage, taking the fingertips and maybe massaging the temples, maybe the jaw, the neck, and allowing your hands to rest again. And then just noticing if there's any differences in the face or any places that you touched. Excuse me. Mm. Mind wanders off into different thoughts, and we're gently guiding ourselves back to this body. This body does so much, offering gratitude. Just thank you, body. All you do. There's so much our bodies do for us. And just resting in that gratitude. And with this, I'm setting an intention for the week. Maybe you want to be a little bit more kind to this body. Maybe you want to provide this body a little bit more rest, invite a little bit more ease. Maybe you want to invite some more movement into the body, just resting into an intention for this week, something that you can do. Okay, and to close practice, you can take some deep breaths or take a breath to the level of your comfort, which is what I'll be doing. And we'll take 3 breaths together, exhaling the air. A breath in, and exhale, inhale, and exhale, inhale, and exhale. Going back to your breath as is, bringing yourself back into the space. Ah, I'm just moving a little bit because my body desires that. Yeah. So this is just a little practice you can try out and do as a way to bring a little bit more presence into the body. And this is just a way that we can allow ourselves to feel into the body. Um, yeah, and in a very like tangible way. And as it you continue, then you can get a little bit more subtle with that and just allow yourself to experience what is present in the body. I try to narrate a little bit of what's happening in mine just to as a model, uh, so I can feel like right now my right foot feels a little bit colder than the left foot, and I can feel my hands are warmer than they were when we first started, and the tops of my hands are a bit cooler though. I can feel that. Yeah. And so I hope that this is supportive for you and just really allowing yourself to show up however you are. And that is okay. Just really wanting to remove the stigma of doing it wrong. You're not just showing up definitely. helps and and is helps you like just yeah supporting yourself in your practice. And I hope that you can offer yourself a little bit more ease and rest. And I'm just reflecting to see if there's anything else I wish to share. I will be back next week. I was just like, yes, I will be back next week, 9 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. Pacific time. And of course, I will upload this and make it accessible for you at any time. All right, I feel like that is good. I feel like we can close our practice today. And I will close offering a dedication of merit. This is just allowing ourselves, like any goodness that we've cultivated together, that we can allow it to radiate and touch the hearts and minds of all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. And this dedication of merit, it comes from the Dharma Homies Collective, specifically Devin Sangster Rath. And at the end of this dedication of merit, I will also offer loving kindness, also known as metta. Excuse me. Mm, okay, I can feel myself kind of reaching a moment of like, yeah, I need to wrap this up because I can feel the coughing is in the wings waiting. Okay, you can bring your hands in front of the heart. Um, May any goodness that has come from us practicing together today be dedicated not only to us, but to all beings everywhere, seen and unseen. In particular, we dedicate this goodness to those who are suffering, especially those who are suffering under violence, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, ageism, xenophobia, and all the intersecting oppressions. We commit to doing the work within ourselves and in the world of uprooting greed, hatred, and delusion so that our true heart's wish may come true, that all beings everywhere be free from suffering and pain. Now easing into the loving kindness, allowing yourself to just receive these words. May all beings abide in the ease of well being. May all beings be safe from both internal and external harm. May all beings know connection, love, joy, and peace. And may all beings be truly free. You all take great care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you all next time. Take great care.